Hello again, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. So, with Halloween just around the corner, it would seem that perhaps in some sort of way of getting into the spirit of the occasion, Exela Technologies, ticker symbol XELA or Xela, has risen from the dead and gained an impressive 51% during Monday's trade. The stock has been in a slow decline following its short squeeze rally and has had mixed second quarter results since. But on the back of perhaps a second recent major catalyst, the stock sprung back to life. As I've covered on here before, Xela is actually quite a big company despite its relatively small market cap, but has been held back by the burdens of its debt. So perhaps with quarter three results just around the corner for Exela Technologies, perhaps, just perhaps, the market is preparing for a continued turnaround in the company's fortunes that is being spurred on by a continued run of good news from the company. So in this video, I want to have a brief look at the two recent catalysts for the company, dive into the stock and talk about where to next going forward with Exela Technologies. So let's get into it. So just to put yesterday's crazy price action into perspective on this hourly chart, we can see that following the short squeeze rally back in July, there has been a gradual decline for the stock. However, it very much roared back to life yesterday. It was quite an impressive rally, all things considered, with this stock. And glancing at this Google chart, we can see that the stock launched on the back of yesterday's news catalyst close to midday and still continued its momentum in the aftermarket by gaining a further 15%. So what was yesterday's big news that set Exela's stock alight? Well, it was the announcement of an unnamed major global client signing on with them. The unnamed client has signed up to use one of Exela Technologies' broad business process automation services known as Digital Mailroom, or DMR for short, which is a client customizable email inbox document sharing service. This has been one of the company's hot offerings behind much of their new business and includes their other hugely popular DrySign service within the suite. To understand DrySign, it is a lot like the popular DocuSign. On a side note, it sounds like the ability to customize the digital mailroom service is what gives the service a real edge over many of the other standard software packages available, and obviously this is what this mystery client saw in the service. However, while this client news is good news, it won't appear until Q4 financial reporting period. But with regard to quarter three, Exela Technologies has released just last week some preview information regarding the popularity of those two previously mentioned services. In Q3, with DMR experiencing a whopping 71% growth amongst small business clients and DrySign seeing an impressive expansion in users of 47%. So really, I think yesterday was very much a compounding of a slew of good news the company has been experiencing in recent times. It is worth noting that Xela has not really had any bad company news in Q3 with the exception of an investigation into a fiduciary breach from a law firm. So while this isn't good news, it is not really an official investigation and more a civil suit, which doesn't get me too worried. Other than that, it has only really been announcing new deals and expansion in territories being served. It is also worth noting that of the two major brokers covering the stock, there is a buy rating with a consensus $4 12-month price target. A lot of that price target will be pinned to a continued resurgence in the company as they have continued to see a return in their sales in the post-COVID setting, as well as hope for a continued improvement in their balance sheet. So before we get all excited about Exela Technologies, it is worth remembering that their tangible book value was a whopping negative $22 per share in the June quarter. This was actually a significant improvement on the quarters previous, but they are still clearly very heavily leveraged. When Exela release their results, which are due to come out on the 10th of November, it will be nice to see if all this good news around sales and expansion that we've seen this quarter is reflected in a continued tidying up of their balance sheet. I suppose time will tell. In terms of what the stock may do on Tuesday, it is really hard to say. The RSI, Bollinger Bands, and just general logic would suggest that we will likely see a bit of a cooling for the stock. However, I'm not totally convinced about this. In terms of if you're looking to maybe buy in, if you subscribe to the $4 price target, there is clearly still quite a bit of a way for the stock to go. In terms of what else I can tell you on from a technical basis, it's actually really hard to say too much more from a technical perspective. So I have to apologize, I can't say too much more about the stock at the moment. I personally have an existing position that I had been accruing through trading since the short squeeze period, and I had actually added more shares to my holding in recent times when the stock first fell below the $2 mark. Initially, I had been regretting this as the stock did continue to slide down. However, following yesterday's rally, the average value of my position is now back in the green. I'm personally not too fussed holding onto this stock for a while, as I do believe it is a company that is on the up, and I'm hoping that is going to translate to continued growth in the share price. So in terms of some final thoughts for Exela Technologies, I think they clearly have a highly scalable business that does not require much investment to achieve that scale. And the fact that their business process automation offerings are very highly regarded globally is only going to further spur on that company growth. The company's weak net asset value is a major concern, but I believe that this will continue to improve with each quarter, and am therefore looking forward to seeing how much they have improved this when the next set of financial results come out on the 10th of November. So where the stock goes tomorrow, unless there's some more news about the nature of this client or some other good news coming out from the business, I would be expecting maybe a little bit of a downward correction, but I will be very pleased if I am wrong about this. Anyway, what do you guys think about Xela at the moment? Will Monday's rally continue on Tuesday? Do you have any information about the mystery client that Xela has just signed that has got the market really excited? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time everyone, may the markets trade in your favour. Cheers.